I don't understand. I do not understand. Jesus, please send divine wisdom to my head right now, because I do not understand how people are living this way. Today's topic of discussion is the rat race and why people live this way. So we're gonna get started. I got the good old ara today. I got soju. I can't have chamisul today, unfortunately. Oh well, suck it up, buttercup. Oof. 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 Always gets the gorilla in me going. So let's talk about the rat race. What is the rat race? Well, it's what it sounds like. What do you see when you see a bunch of rats moving in one direction to some arbitrary location? You think, what the hell is going on, right? Well, that's the same thing that's going on with humans. You know, humans look down on rats and they think they're so inferior and dirty and nasty animals. But in reality, I think I would rather live with a rat than live with the average human. The average Western human, at least these days. Yeah, I know, it sounds bad. But yes, it's that bad. Send the asteroid, I've had enough. And what I'm talking about here is people live their life just like rats. They all scurry to work in the morning and come back home at night at one time. That's why we see traffic jams. They live like rats. They're all going to some arbitrary workplace who doesn't give a shit about them, who couldn't care less if they were dead or gone tomorrow. If they were to die tomorrow, they would just find some other person to replace them. It's not even a big deal for them, you're just a number. But anyways, they choose to live their life on their knees, sucking off some arbitrary employer who doesn't even give a shit about them, just so they can make their slave fiat, just so they can buy some items to impress some bimbo or some hoe that doesn't give a shit about them. And then also show off to their friends who also don't give a shit about them because they don't even have their own life in order. They're too busy thinking about how to impress the next person. Or if their wife is fucking some other guy. Or if their dick's not long enough. Or if they're too fat. They're too busy thinking about their own problems. They don't give a shit if you have Gucci on or if you're driving a Range Rover. Who gives a shit? Nobody gives a shit, okay? Like in the Bronx Tale. What did he say? What did Sonny say? Nobody cares. Yeah, nobody cares. In reality, the reason people choose to live this way is because they're not confident enough in themselves. They don't believe enough in themselves that they can do better. So they choose to live this proxy slave slave lifestyle where it's not direct slavery, but in reality it is. Because they're giving you a wage, a certain set number of money, which is just resources. They're giving you a set number of resources every so often, usually 2 weeks, for you to go and buy your shit with, all the food and other trinkets that you need to impress the hoes around you. You know, boats and hoes. That's all it's about. So they give you this mediocre salary, this set amount per time range, and then they trap you into that for a year or however long your contract is. And then not just that, but you have people stealing it from you. You have the government stealing it from you and banks stealing it from you because they inflate the money supply away every couple of years because of, we have a housing crisis, or we have a worldwide pandemic, therefore that justifies us printing off a bunch of money so we can fix this damn problem. So you end up saving, you end up busting your ass for all this time, only to have it stealing from you at the end. And the ironic part is you think it's safe because it's sitting in the bank. It's not safe for shit. Okay, so you have these people who are not self-aware going to an employer who doesn't give a shit about them to earn some wage that they know they can do better than, only to come back to some mediocre husband or wife who probably doesn't even love them, who's probably just there for convenience, only to go to sleep, only to watch average TV, only to wake up the next morning and do it all over again. And that's what I mean by the rat race. It's just these people, these bots, as I like to call them, these Muppets who they just live this lifestyle where they need somebody to take care of them and tell them what to do because they don't know any other way. And it's just every morning they all scurry to this one place and then they all scurry right back in the evening. And then they repeats and repeats until they end up in the box in the ground. And that's the rat race. And the reason I look down upon these people who do this is because, well, if you're not self-aware and you're doing it, if you're just a drone, then that's fine. We have to have some angst in this world too, I suppose. But if you're self-aware and you know you can do better, then you're just a coward. Because it might seem risky to go off on your own and do and take the purpose that God gave you and the balls that you have and do your own thing with it and try and fail and be bold. I know that sounds risky, but I think the bigger risk is watching your life waste away and watching your time go by. Because you're wasting your only finite resource on this earth, giving it to some employer who doesn't give a shit about whether you're dead or alive tomorrow. Do you really want to see your life just waste away like that? Do you really want to not to be on your deathbed and wondering what could have happened if you had tried? That's the bigger risk. I don't want to live with any regrets. And I'm thinking you don't either if you're watching this video. So if you're in the rat race right now, just take the move, have faith that things will work out. And even if you fail, it's still a hell of a story to tell. It makes you a more interesting person. You build character in the process.